Good morning, everyone. Friday here. We're going to do a super tight video. We've got a lot going on today. I actually have to leave here very quickly. I wanted to very quickly go over a couple things that are in play here today. First of all, I want to talk about yesterday. Yesterday was not my best reads, but we ended up with our fifth winning day in a row because I had a massive comeback at the end of the night. Our hottest reads continue to be on the WNBA and using Streak Watch. So I had some poor reads early, actually some very, I don't know, just didn't make sense. I had favorable matchups with Chase DeLauder, Quan, and Nathaniel Lowe. And because of that, I used a go up 2 runs promo on Cleveland's money line, and Cleveland does not score a single run, and only Chase DeLauder, which, to our software's credit, was the only elite of the matchup. The other ones were favorable. He was the only one that was elite, and yeah, that one just did not go well at all. To be frank, I would never have predicted that that Cleveland was going to get shut out. And then I went over 8.5 runs as one of my top plays of the day in the Chicago-Washington game. Washington comes through with 7 runs. Chicago, one of the hottest teams in baseball, decides to get no hit through like 5 innings and shut out for the game. So no action for that. I had some bets on Pete Crow Armstrong. Horrible game for Pete Crow. CJ Abrams, I did hit his HRR, but he did not hit the home run. So I didn't have very many plays. I had 3 unders, and 1 over was Jake Bauers to get a hit. He does get the hit in the 9th inning, so pulls that one off. Under 1.5 HRR, Tommy Edman, William Contreras, both go under. So that was part of my comeback. All 3 of those games were the last game of the day, or one of the last games. So hit all those. Also early on, I had Cabrian Hayes not to get a hit. He does get a hit. So my early action, I was down bad, not looking good. Massive comeback because, again, WNBA Streak Watch, Jackie Young crushes all lines. Shakira Austin crushes her line. And then when I knew I was down, I mentioned a parlay, and I mentioned parlaying Jackie Young, Shakira Austin, Las Vegas money line, or Aja Wilson's made threes. And I said, I don't love the Aja Wilson made threes because it is a binary number and it's very highly likely it's a 1 or a 0. Well, she does get the 1. So I ended up putting, and being down bad, I waited, and this is why I love those day games on Wednesday and Thursday. I was able to assess where I was at for the day. And I said, all right, well, I have nothing to lose. So I put a half unit on a 4-leg parlay, and I played both of them, and it hit. So that flipped the day positive. Between that and my comebacks here with the 2 unders and Bowers, you combine it all together, and I went from down bad to a winning day. So there you go. So we're going to keep this a very focused. Code EDGE, 25% off. We're gaining about a subscriber a day. We're a young company. This is an amazing deal for what we offer and what we're going to continue to offer, and your pricing is going to be grandfathered in. You would be crazy not to use this and get ahead of this, because we are going down a path of success. So I literally am going to look at 3 things and 3 things only. I only have 3 boosts going into the today. I have a WNBA general boost. There is a specific boost we're going to hop into right now, and I have no idea what I'm going to tell you here, but I think that I know what I'm going to tell you. And so there's a promo on DK, who scores more points, Caitlin Clark or Paige Buchers. And they're boosting, it's a head-to-head. And when it's this head-to-head version, okay, what's going on here, folks? Why are we stuck? When it's head-to-head, they're going to make this a versus matchups, and they're going to determine the odds. So it's not Caitlin Clark to go over points at -126. It's going to be a very specific bet on who's getting the odds to score more points. So what we want to do is just look at each of these matchups and pick one. And Of course, now they're making this difficult. I don't know if I have time to, I don't really want to go through and waste your time of what this is, but I should have probably hopped in here to start. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What are we doing here? They are not letting me auto log in. Stupid. All right. We're just going to have to forego that. I don't know what's actually going on there. Anyway, bottom line is Caitlin Clark, we think, is very strong to go over 21.5. We do think this is a mixed signals matchup, that the defense will hold her accountable. I would say that's above average, though, on the field goal percentage. And I think that the big one on this one will be is maybe you want to wait, because if Aaliyah Boston's not playing, then that is a huge usage shift. She is probable. So we're going to assume that she's playing. So let's assume it's probably their standard lineup. I mean, 22, 26, under 26, 32, 27, head to head against Dallas. The last time they face each other was back in May, and she had 20. And that's the only time they face each other. So I think it's a fair line. I think that to think she'll go over based on recent performance is probably relatively accurate. I don't necessarily know if I'd give this the full 60%. I think that it's probably likely she gets the 22, but I'm not going much above that. And then you look at Paige Buchers, and what they're basically saying is who's going to score more points. And that's simply the bet. So interestingly enough, the line is the exact same 21.5, but we simmed this to 47.5. The other day she showed up on a cold streak watch. So I probably should go back to the other one, but 22, 23. So very recent form. She's back at it. Certainly below it much more frequently. We're saying this is a bottom 50% defense with top 10% in pace, would mean that this is an excellent matchup for Paige. Now, the interesting thing is some of their starters or top scorers are out. So that does shift the usage her way. Man, I mean, I was going to tell you that the data should show that we just go Caitlin Clark. I think that when you talk about some of these top recent scores out, that's a pretty big factor there. I wish I thought I was going to be able to tell you that I had something substantial to say, that to lean one way or the other, but this is what FanDuel or DK does. They're smart. They're only doing this. All right, so there's something going on here for sure with my DK. So hopefully I haven't been hacked. Holy shit. Top 50% defense, bottom 50% in pace. And versus this specific lineup, a top 25% defense, bottom 50% in pace. So, I mean, I don't have much good to tell you here. I wanted to be able to tell you I had a lean, and my lean was going to be Caitlin Clark. I mean, like, I guess let's just look at it from a Vegas. Here's what I would say. You also have to look at what this line is, and I don't know why I can't get into my DraftKings right now. I got to be honest with you. So I don't really know what's going. Oh, now it just let me in. So it was glitching. Of course it was glitching. I think the final say in this is going to simply be what is the true odds for points? So Caitlin Clark versus Paige Buchers. So to score more points, Caitlin Clark is minus 124 and Paige Buchers is minus 111. You're going to get a boost. And what I would tell you to do on this boost is to bet it, because it increases the payout versus the chance to happen. But if you really just look at this from a pure standpoint of, we sim her to hit 21.5%, 59%. Vegas clearly has her the better play. And it's close enough, minus 126 versus minus 111. And now it just moved to minus 124 on this, which I might have said before. I think that my only take on this is I can see cases for both. She's hitting it more often. Paige can be more of a distributor at times. And I think then you look at this one and we say she only hits this 47.5% with better paying odds. And based on this, even though there's other data that says Paige could be the higher scorer, we're just going to go ahead and bet it. We're going to go ahead and go to Caitlin Clark. But what I am going to tell you I'm not going to do is I'm not putting a lot on this. So, I mean, that shifts her to plus 105 to score more than Paige Buchers. I was hoping to give you some really good insight. We're literally going to put a third of a unit on this because I really do think this is a crapshoot. There's nothing that there's data suggesting that this could go in two directions. The next one is that we do have a general WNBA boost on FanDuel. And so we're going to go to the number one prop, hottest prop on Edgeboard. And so we're just going to go general WNBA, and we are going to go to our streak watch. And I don't care if they're playing today or not. This is me just wanting to use what's available to me and what do I want to do with it. And what I will say for sure is that our streak watch is going back to the well with two of the hottest players in all basketball. Now, here's where you're using a boost on FanDuel. And I think it's careful to note that while she's crushing this line, she got 34 last night. And while she's hit 24.5, 100% straight, what makes you nervous is that the line is starting to move again higher. Now, I think this is the day before this event happens. Could this line move even higher? Maybe. And will these odds get worse? Absolutely. So I think that these are good bets now. Her line yesterday was 19.5 to go over. She had 32 points yesterday. She had 34. So she is her rebounds have been down. Her scoring has been up. So if I were to pick between these two, while she's hit this line 100% straight, I have looked at the stats. I mean, basically she only got 2 rebounds yesterday, and we're making this go up 5. So if I were to pick one, while this has only been 88%, I would probably go points over rebounds. Now, we do know that Minnesota is a tough team. Top 10% defense versus their specific lineup. They are a high pace team. She just recently played them and she went for 23 points. So this was just August 8th while she's been hot. Back in June, she did not hit it. I would say her recent form, this is again way back. So there's only been 2 matchups this year. I think her recent form, this is probably, I would lean towards the over of the points, seeing that the points line is the same points line as it was yesterday, and that they're moving this line up when her rebounds are actually lower. And then for Shakira, I mean, I would honestly, I'm a little curious why we're not offering the points stat here. The line is moved crazy on this. So Vegas is tired of Shakira Austin. So this is where you really got to keep an eye on Streak Watch. 25, 27, 28, 27, 26. So points and rebounds have now shot up 3. And I don't care if this is a great matchup. It's shot up by 3. That is crazy. So we got to, that's where this is an amazing tool. I'm going to really kind of just relook at that one. And then there is a couple unders. So it's interesting. I mentioned this. Paige Bucher's on Streak Watch for PRA is literally, her line has moved down. That's interesting because her line has been 31, 29, 29, 30, 34, and now it's back down to 31. So that's pretty interesting how the line has moved. That's why we're not going to bet the under. And then A'ja Wilson, let's see what's going on here. The line has been 29, 31, 30, 28, 28. They've actually moved her line up while she's hitting a cold streak on under against a team that is a minus 1.1 versus centers. She's minus 10% cooling off of late. I mean, this might actually be one of the stronger bets. At 29.5, let's just look at the line. She's actually gone under that in 5 straight games, including 17 the last time she played Minnesota. She's faced Minnesota August 8th, 26, June 26, and then these are useless. She's had 25 and 17. I think this line is set incorrectly, and I actually think I like this the most. I wanted to look up one last thing. I'm really confused what's going on with Shakira and points, because I mean, she just lit it up last night. And so where did her points go? I think this is like very close to the same line it's moved up. All right, it is moved up. So she crushed it. It was 17.5 or 16.5. So Vegas has grown kind of tired of her. And now this is probably a much more fair line. Like you see where she's in, let's be clear. She crushes it last night. The previous 3 games much closer. I am going to stick with what I think is our best tool we've got. It doesn't even show up here. We're going to clear her off. We're going to go to Streak Watch. I think that you're looking at 2 props and 2 props only. And I'm going to let you decide what you pick. I would say Jackie Young over points against Minnesota, or A'ja Wilson under points and assists against Minnesota. And I am actually going to lean with this under, despite what the software says, just because of what I'm seeing, where it's at. I'm very surprised that they have this line back up after she just got 19 last game. And that is going to be our play on this one here. So A'ja Wilson, and we're going to go points and assist. And I think what probably my guess is what's going on here is, if you were to pick one thing, is I think her assists are way down. So 29.5, which is excellent because the second highest the score was at minus 120 and FanDuel's at minus 122. It's a $10 max wager. It moves this to plus money. I'm going A'ja Wilson under 29.5 on that bet. And then while we're at it, you know what? Yeah, while we're at it, I think Jackie Young points is mispriced. So I am going to play the best points line I can find. And look at this. I just found 18.5 at minus 128. Look at that line on FanDuel, folks. Frick, I wish I would have known that was available. I wish I would have known that was available. Oh, yeah. We're going to go with a 3/4 unit play on that at 18.5. I love that it's only barely off of minus 115, and I'm getting the extra point, which again this is not a binary sport. So there's our WNBA plays. And then I literally have got to go. So today's mainly WNBA. There is an odd boost on DraftKings. So we're just going to again highlight how you can use this software. And what we're going to do to use this software is we're going to go MLB. And then you can literally pick your book, which is something I hardly ever point out. And admittedly, it's not always the most accurate. But we're going to go DraftKings and we're going to go home run. DraftKings is doing a plus 200 on home runs. And I will tell you that Major League Baseball has been glitching a little bit this morning on everything. It just seems like it's not... All right, let's reset. I'm having some glitches getting the software to this. So let's reset. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to log out. Man, this is not ideal. I really got to get going here. Man, Jackie Young points at 18.5, even down lower. I love both those plays. I admittedly don't love the Caitlin Clark play. I wish I could have told you Caitlin Clark was there, but you use your boost there. When you're getting plus money for her to outscore Paige Buchers, then you use it. Hopefully you guys get that. But there is a home run play tonight. And I will be honest, we are having some issues with our software uploading baseball props. I had this earlier today. I'll bring it up to the devs here. Today might be a WNBA day only. Sorry for the dead air. I was trying to give this time to load. All right, folks. We're going to go ahead and call it up. Hold on. Scanning. Let's give it time. God damn it. Let's give it time. I want to at least get this one prop out. So DK has got a promo. And to be honest, I'm just going to give you some ones to look at. It's a home run odds surge where you're getting plus 200 on any home run today. So let's go ahead and bring up the home run props and just kind of look at, who might actually stick out as an elite matchup to start. Maybe we'll just go favorable and who I would advise. So this kid's been tough. It's in Arizona, but maybe the hottest pitch batter in baseball. Matt Olson, lefty versus righty. We give this a +3 favorable. Hello. Come on, baby. Let's go. I think he's a decent pitcher. He doesn't have great career. 10 at bats. He's never hit a home run. I think that this is, I wouldn't hate it, but not a huge, I don't love the park. Don't love the play. Junior Caminero. Another crazy hot batter. Again, hitting home runs, faces this pitcher well, not a great park in Tampa Bay, but he kind of supersedes the park. I like that, even though it's righty, he hits this guy pretty well. The pitcher himself is a hittable pitcher. He's had limited plate appearances, but has had some success against us. So I think between so far, Junior Caminero is towards the top. I did watch an expert pick on this, and Jack Caglione is Grayson Rodriguez. If you hit him, is one of the most common fly ball pitchers in baseball. Very hittable pitcher. Caglione, not necessarily a good for average bat. If he hits it for average, though, there is a good chance. And let's be clear, he's batting .409 in August. So this, I don't love the park. I do hear that wind is going to be out tonight, and it's also a little more humid at Angels Park than normal. So I actually might put this one as our top contender based on pitcher-hitter matchup. And I think we're going to leave it at that. I want to be honest with you. Like, if I'm putting my money on this, I think these top 3 at-bats are your 3 choices. I mean, let's just go with right off the bat. Let's look at the sim percentage. We go from 35, 34, 30 to 20. Okay. And I know the night, and I don't see it being, Texas isn't a great park. I was going to maybe say Soderstrom just because he's also been very hot. He is batting .290 with 2 home runs in August. He hits this pitcher pretty well, .667, but not necessarily a great park. So look, Soderstrom as a runner-up, but for sure, I think you want to look at these 3 batters, and I think based on the matchup, I'm actually going to lean Caglione as my pick. I think you'll also get better odds, but again, we'll have to see. I think Caminero or Caglione, whoever you're getting the best odds on, I would say go with that. So that's the video, folks. Best of luck out there. Use those boosts. Use your WNBA boosts. Use your Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bucher's boost. Get the home run boost. Those are the only boosts I have that I like right now. There's a couple single game parlay boosts out there, but nothing I feel great about. So there's your plays, and good luck out there on the streets today. I'm out.